In previous episodes of the Modernizing Nigeria Immigration series, we have explored the development of this initiative, culminating in the unveiling of policy documents and frameworks that establish a modern, effective, and results-oriented Nigeria Immigration Service. In this episode, we will examine the contributions and commitments of the International Center for Migration Policy Development, ICMPD, as the driving force behind the Modernizing Nigeria Immigration Service, MoNIS project.
The MoNIS initiative has achieved significant results in enhancing the efficiency and effectiveness of the Nigeria Immigration Service by establishing the recently launched Career Progression and Training Policy and Gender Mainstreaming Framework, CPTF. This framework serves as a comprehensive guide for realigning the operations and services of the Nigeria Immigration Service. The success we see today is a testament to the dedicated collaboration and resilience demonstrated by ICMPD and its partners across various thematic sectors of the project.
It has been a great journey for ICMPD to work with NIS on these various fronts. And we are seeing that as we are going ahead to implement this alongside the various officers that have been put into this project to follow ICMPD as we go along. So it's not as if ICMPD comes in and starts implementing and then hand over. No, all the different actions that we have been implementing is hand in hand with NIS officers. In fact, NIS has seconded 2 officers to ICMPD to work with us in-house. Not only that, and to work also with those that are at the various points, whether it's the headquarters or at the various commands. So it has been a journey for us where we can see the impact, we can see the effect, and we know that definitely it will have a very positive impact on the work of NIS.
Founded in 1993 with headquarters in Vienna and a liaison office in Brussels, the ICMPD operates as a support mechanism for informal consultations, offering expertise and effective services in the evolving landscape of multilateral cooperation on migration and asylum. With 21 member states and a presence in over 90 countries, ICMPD plays a crucial role in developing safer and more effective migration policies by integrating policy development, research, cooperation, community outreach, and capacity building.
Mission of ICMPD in West Africa derives from the overall mission of ICMPD as an organization, which is basically to be responsive to our member states and to work in the field of migration policy, as well as improving the discourse in migration. And for ICMPD, of course, to become an organization to go to on those issues, to be the foremost organization to go to in the area of migration.
ICMPD is trying to support the Nigerian government through the Nigerian Immigration Service to really look into issues of women empowerment, the role of women in the immigration service, gender mainstreaming, and developing SOPs and policies that can actually empower female officers in the organization, but also create awareness raising and sensitization towards female migration.
I see ICMPD as an organization that is well-meaning. The approach is you own the project, we support you, and that is what is required, not the other way around. And that's one of the factors why projects by development partners sometimes don't yield the right result. I can tell you for sure that they did, and which is very novel as far as I'm concerned. The project manager, the regional manager, they created the environment for us to work, and we could see the dedication to ensure that this project works. And you can't get that in every organization. And this project is a unique project because like when we started, yes, there were deliverables, but sometimes you start a project, you don't know the obstacles you meet on the way, how you're going to navigate it. But I think the approach was very, very good, and at the end of the day, we've got the end product, which I believe is one of the best so far.
The impact of ICMPD on the Nigerian immigration landscape has been transformative. Through the MoNIS project, ICMPD is set to revolutionize the operational efficiency and outcomes of the Nigeria Immigration Service. Their collaborative approach brings together experts and resources to advance the modernization agenda, underscoring the organization's commitment to process improvement and international standards.
This project was conceptualized by ICMPD and to underscore the importance of ownership. It's developed a policy or an approach where it's going to be all-encompassing, all those that will be involved in the implementation of the project, particularly the TWC, aside from the fact that 2 officers were on secondment on the project to make sure that the beneficiary, which the NIS is carried along, there was the need to form a technical working committee that was all-encompassing. Yes, the large chunk of the TWC members were made up of NIS officers, but membership was also drawn from other MDS, ministries, departments, and agencies within the federal system, where we have a representative from the Ministry of Interior, representative from the CDC-FIB, that's Civil Defense, Correctional, Fire and Immigration Service Board, representatives from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Women Affairs, to capture the gender perspective to the component of the project, as well as Ministry of Budget and National Planning. Yes, so it was quite robust in that sense, and the activities, leading to the documents we have now was quite, robust and comprehensive, in the sense that there were several meetings that were set up to ensure that there's an amenable atmosphere for these members to ventilate their ideas, their experiences on how to go about developing the career progression and policy framework.
Welcome to Nigeria, Ghanaian brothers and sisters.
To bolster international cooperation among agencies, ICMPD facilitated the Nigeria Immigration Service's engagement with regional immigration bodies throughout the MoNIS project.
Actually, from the University of Benin.
ICMPD has placed significant emphasis on training and career advancement, incorporating automation in human resources operations alongside e-learning advantages. The effects of these enhancements are evident across the immigration landscape, benefiting both immigrants and personnel at border entry points. Improved human resources management, welfare initiatives, and gender mainstreaming have positioned officers of the Nigeria Immigration Service to better contribute to national progress.
The reforms that MoNIS is introducing to the Nigeria Immigration Service are essentially to enhance the overall personnel performance, ensure equity in the career progression, and increase efficiency within the service. You can already see reforms in the area of, for instance, of operations of the NIS. I think if you've been following the news, you realize that the Nigerian government itself is now investing much in the Nigerian Immigration Service. Like if you at the international airports, there are now e-gates that have been installed. The turnaround time for Nigerian Immigration Service, for instance, to produce passports for Nigerian citizens has been really very efficient since the coming of this new administration, because you realize that all the backlog has been cleared. But for the MoNIS project, beyond operations, of course, we need to provide incentive for the personnel, for the officers and men of the Nigerian Immigration Service to be able to sustain and carry out this job.
First TWC meeting took place in Kano, second meeting in Port Harcourt, then in Lagos, before the final draft document was produced. In addition to experts, systematics experts from the various, the major components, career progression and training experts, where we had a general on board, we had a professor on board as well. We also had a retired Deputy Controller General, who was also a consultant in the course of the project. All these were done to ensure that there are no gaps. Knowledge is captured, and then experience from the past, the present, and even the youthful officers were also part of the TWC, so that it's going to be a comprehensive document at the end of the day. So overall, it has been very, very interesting and exciting to be part of this. And I can look back and say, having been sent here, it has been a life-changing experience for me, in the sense that it has added to my experience, have quite been expanded, and the social network I have also developed with people from outside the NIS, and having to be part of facilitating this laudable initiative, I think is more fulfilling than any other thing.
In its commitment to technological advancement, ICMPD has established a fully equipped ICT center for the Nigeria Immigration Service as a key element of the MoNIS project. This initiative includes the integration of training applications and software, such as the National Identity Number API, ensuring seamless identity verification and enhancing data security and accuracy.
The Controller General expressed to us urgent need for the growing number of people working at NIS who have not had the opportunity to receive training. Apart from the initial training, the induction training, but in terms of in-service training, he expressed that this was a bit behind and lacking, and that he would like to see a system put in place where officers, whether they know the powers that be or not, would receive automatic training and regularly. So we had to come up with a program that can ensure that. Not only develop basic courses that officers need to be aware of, the information, because as you know, the world is also changing, and the courses they did 10 years ago may no longer be that relevant today. And so to develop courses that address the ongoing issues that we see in the world today, and that NIS officers will be at the forefront of all this new information that is out there, so that they can also deal with the issues at the borders.
But what we have tried to do, putting into a document that will make it authoritative, is for the Nigerian Immigration Service to have the skills in dealing with all these issues you are talking about. And that's why we introduce some courses that will make them develop some of those skills, so that you have a mass number of them that will have those skills, not just a few of them. A few of them already have the skills, and that's why the elements will come, so that a mass number, there are some courses that are compulsory, like for example the hostmanship course, which tells you how to deal with anybody that comes to the immigration desk for any assistance, dealing with them as a guest and showing them hospitality. That's one. Also talked about interagency cooperation, which is a course that will also enable them know how to handle interagency cooperation. The document also talked about stakeholders management and other leadership courses. So that's why this document concentrates more on capacity building, because you cannot give what you don't have. Yes, those capacities are existing, but not in that large number that will have the impact that is required for an organization of that nature, that will have to be the face of Nigeria at every entry point.
I think it would have been, without that e-learning component, it would have been a little difficult, to deploy all these courses that we are talking about. We have 4 training schools all across the nation, and to gather thousands of personnel, at these training schools to learn one thing, that has been the practice over time. But now, with the deployment of the e-learning system, officers can access training wherever they are.
A pivotal partnership between the Nigeria Immigration Service and CDCFIB has been established, focusing on automating recruitment and promotion processes. Additionally, various training workshops have laid a solid foundation for the successful implementation of the recently launched Career Progression and Training Framework.
And so what we have also tried to do is to come out with a short-term, medium-term, and long-term implementation plan. And I believe with that, it will help drive the organization to its logical conclusion. Don't forget also, because of the dynamism of the environment, there are also, as you go along, there's also room for review. So all what you also try to do, and I'm sure beyond this, is to try to sensitize the immigration personnel itself for them to understand and come out with a change management system that for them to understand that this project has come or this system has come, and it will help. It's a win-win situation. And also try and get the leadership of the immigration service to buy into it, both at the management level, juniors, medium and senior leadership, so that it pass the baton from one group of generation of immigration officers to another. So I think that's one of the ways of sustaining such. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint, and so we believe that the key factor is that the immigration service must buy into it, and that's why they were involved right from the beginning across all strata of the immigration service.
TWC meeting took place in Kano, second meeting in Port Harcourt, then in Lagos, before the final draft document was produced. In addition to experts, systematics experts from the various, the major components, career progression and training experts, where we had a general on board, we had a professor on board as well. We also had a retired Deputy Controller General, who was also a consultant in the course of the project. All these were done to ensure that there are no gaps. Knowledge is captured, and then experience from the past, the present, and even the youthful officers were also part of the TWC, so that it's going to be a comprehensive document at the end of the day.
A major achievement of this project is the development of the learning management system. That gladdens my heart each time I think of this project, especially for officers that are working remotely, those working in the borders. At times they feel being reluctant or just being left aside. But with this e-learning, they will have it in their phones where they will keep refreshing their memories. They will keep learning on immigration regulation, immigration law. So it's something that is a big achievement to the service as a whole.
Every paramilitary agency should key into the career progression framework. It will eliminate all the noise and grumbling of personnel, because it's going to be, as you make your bed, you will lie on it.
MoNIS, the ICMPD, has committed a lot of funding to make sure that this framework is designed, that it is validated. It's not just been designed, developed, validated, and test run. It's not an issue of imposing. The service personnel and management, they own the document, and the processing has been done in such a way that it is so participatory. Whatever, every line in that policy and the career progression framework, every line was verified and validated, not by outsiders, by Nigerian Immigration Service management, so that they can take it as their own document.
With the launch of the policy documents under MoNIS, the aspirations for the Nigeria Immigration Service remain high. Ongoing improvements in service capabilities and the sustained implementation of project outputs will ensure that Nigeria's immigration services are well prepared to face future challenges.
We are hoping that these gains that we have made in the last couple of years, can be further reinforced, and that other donors will come in to fund some of this, so that we can see it, running and achieving the goals that has been set for the project, and that this can be implemented beyond this end of project.
And one thing this project has helped or will help is to harmonize the efforts of donor agencies that want to want to provide support for the Nigerian Immigration Service. He said so before now, the assistance or the support from donor agencies was not coordinated. So what we have now, we have a document that can be shared with donor agencies, development partners, and they will look at it, they will see what aspects they want to really come in to assist the Nigerian Immigration Service. So that is one key role, that's one key objective of this document. So the document is foundational and try to resolve some of those foundational issues. I think with that, I'm positive that better days are ahead for the Nigerian Immigration Service.
They have one of the best policy framework in terms of what MoNIS has put together. NIS will not be the same. It will modernize and it will be a good and globally respected service when we start going the MoNIS way.
It's quite fulfilling for me that already we have a career progression framework and a gender mainstreaming policy that is good to be rolled out for implementation. One, also want to thank ICMPD for the opportunity to learn new perspective to work ethics and attitude to work, for coming from the public service and being in an international platform, is quite different. Initially when we came, it took us a while to really adjust, based on, different orientation, different perception to work environment. But for the past 3 years, I can look back and say, I'm a different person. That has also catapulted my capacity and my ability to face new terrains, new challenges and new platforms if given the opportunity. And I also want to say it is quite fulfilling. I really want to appeal to the management of the NIS, and as we know they will always do, to make sure that this policy does not end in the cupboard or drawer. It should actually be allowed to run, to fly, and let them be committed in running with it.
Nigerian Immigration Service is on the verge of revolutionizing itself. I see Nigerian Immigration Service going to be one of the best organizations we have in Nigeria. And they have bought into this project. The leadership has bought into this project. So it's just a starting point. And I see a lot of positive things happening in Nigerian immigration based on this project.
ICMPD made the board to buy into the project. The minister bought into the project. And as at now, we can say everybody is on board. We want now to go to the last stage of putting the trainers together so that everybody will know what the project is all about and be able to implement.
A huge thank you to ICMPD, the Danish Foreign Affairs, for all the resources, so much resources. Resources were spent on this. We are grateful. We thank you so much for all you have done. You see a better Nigerian Immigration Service, a more efficient Nigerian Immigration Service. The operatives will do better for the way you have honed us, the tools you have given us to work with, the platforms you have created for us. We are going to, we promise you will turn out a platform now to drive it. We will drive it. Whatever it takes that is within our abilities, we will drive it.
MoNIS, modernizing the Nigeria Immigration Service, paving the way for a brighter, more efficient future, is implemented by ICMPD with funded from the Danish government.